Have you guys seen this tweet? Have you guys seen this tweet? It reads, "Going full MAGA changes a person literally," and it's a picture of Laura Loomer, Lara Trump, Kimberly Guilfoyle, and Christy Nome, and also Matt Gaetz. Sorry. Content warning. Content warning. Content warning. Sorry. Sorry. Trigger warning. I'm sorry. Dude. Bro. Like, okay. What is going on? I've actually never seen what Laura Loomer looked like before. Oh my oh my god! What did she do? Loomer pick is photoshopped? Not by that much. But 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 why? But why? Oh, I don't understand. I don't understand, dude. I don't understand. I stand by my statement that being evil like changes you in a way that like being a good person doesn't. I stand by that one comic. I'm trying to find it. Wait. Hold. This Roald Dahl comic, this one. Why would that happen? I'll tell you why. If a person has ugly thoughts, it begins to show on their face. And when that person has ugly thoughts every day, every week, every year, the face gets uglier and uglier until it gets so ugly you can hardly bear to look at it. A person who has good thoughts can never be ugly. You can have a wonky nose and a crooked mouth and double chin and stick out teeth, but if you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams and you will always look lovely. This is like my one bit of astrology that I believe in. This is my astrology, and no one can convince me otherwise. You can tell good people from a mile away, and it doesn't matter what they look like physically, it doesn't matter any of the attributes. It's the collection of attributes and the way that, like, they present themselves that makes them just hideous, just viscerally horrible to look at. This is highly based. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, dude. Precisely. God, dude. Oh, man. Oh, man. So, where to start today? I want to start with the Laura Loomer story. Since we started anyways on that one, let's go. There's this video that came out from CNN. Analysts discuss how far-right-wing activist Laura Loomer gained influence over Trump. So my understanding right now is that Laura Loomer currently works in Trump's campaign as, let's see. Well, it says here Donald Trump sought to hire Loomer to his presidential campaign in April 2023 through his senior and campaign advisors. Though his senior and campaign advisors strongly discouraged it, staunch Trump supporter Marjorie Taylor Greene described Laura as a documented liar, saying that to talk to Hassan is hilarious. I mean, Hassan. Sorry, I read a chat message that said Hassan. Saying that to respond to, in response to Donald Trump is hilarious. Please, little liar. Oh my god. Oh god. Okay, by September 2024, some Trump supporters and others expressed concerns about Loomer's continuing presence and influence around Trump. And currently, 2024 Wikipedia section says Loomer continued to advocate for the presidential candidacy of Donald Trump in 2024, telling the Washington Post, quote, "I'm happy to dedicate all of my time to helping Trump because if Trump doesn't get back in, I don't have anything." Loomer was brought in as a guest by Trump to Philadelphia, where he engaged. Here, I'll just pull this up on stream. All right. Where is it? Wait, no. I scrolled too far. There we go. Loomer was brought in as a guest by Trump to Philadelphia, where he engaged in the September 10th presidential debate with opponent Kamala Harris. The following day, Loomer attended events alongside Trump, commemorating the September 11 attacks. Loomer had previously endorsed claims that 9/11 was an inside job, according to anonymous sources. Also doing that, what she did it either on 9/11 or the day before or something. According to anonymous sources on the Trump campaign, Loomer reportedly influenced Trump to publicly endorse various false conspiracy theories, including the claim that Kamala Harris hid her black heritage and the claim that Haitian immigrants were eating other people's household pets in Ohio. Loomer also posted a tweet referencing stereotypes of Indians, saying that if Harris, who is half Indian, were elected president, the White House will smell like curry and White House speeches will be facilitated via a call center. Marjorie Taylor Greene, a far-right member of the United States House of Representatives, condemned this remark as appalling and extremely racist. As part of the promotional deal for the pet food brand on Positive on her Rumble channel, Loomer filmed herself eating dog food. Damiana, thank you so much for the Prime. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, when Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I know that this has been said a million times, but Marjorie Taylor Greene, the lady who screamed at Ilhan about enacting Sharia law or whatever, and said that she's not an official politician because she swore in on a Quran. That Marjorie Taylor Greene, when that Marjorie Taylor Greene calls you racist, you gotta take a step back, dude. Here, this Marjorie Taylor Greene.
They swore in on the Quran.
Oh, we have the Bible.
Quran.
We're going to talk about swearing in on the oath, how to swear in on the Bible with them, and let them know what our law says.
Yes. That you can't swear in on the Quran. So we're gonna explain that. You know, we're gonna explain about how you can't swear in on the Quran, and we're gonna have the Bible and ask them if they would swear in on the Bible. That we really need them.
We have the oath.
Yeah, we have the oath. Yep. So I think that's important.
The sad thing is now
you're infringing on our religion.
Which you should not.
You're infringing on our religion.
Yes.
By saying that we can't swear in on the Quran.
But when they swore in, it wasn't a law yet, right? At the time they swore in.
I don't know.
I think at the time they swore in, that wasn't passed.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, you can swear in on anything. It's a formality. Here's this guy swearing in on a Captain America shield.
I, Lundiep,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support and defend
the
Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that
I will bear true faith and allegiance
to
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You can swear in on anything. You don't have to swear in on the Bible. People tend to swear in on religious books as a show of dedication to the job because, you're basically saying I'll burn in hell if I'm lying. But you don't have to swear on the Bible. You don't have to swear on a religious text. You don't have to swear on anything special. You can swear on whatever you want to. I don't even know if you necessarily need like an object to swear on. You just have to raise your hand and make the oath so that in case you're lying, you could get in trouble for perjury. That's it. Or like, I guess treason. You don't have to, there's no Bible requirement.
Because it wouldn't have been passed in a Republican control.
Right.
Yeah, so it was passed after they swore in. So they're not really official, I don't think. So let's go ask them to swear in the Bible. Because like you said, Will,
It has to be the Holy Bible?
yeah, it has to be the Bible.
Well, the bottom line is
Yeah.
Sharia law is not compatible with America.
Yep,
That's the bottom line.
that's the bottom line.
How can you say you represent women, but you support Sharia law?
When this lady is calling you racist, you need to get a job, dude. You need to get a real job, man. So anyways, also, the Kamala HQ Twitter account reposted this clip again. Let me find it one sec. The clip that got, what's his name? Tim Pool really mad. He got really mad. He's like, I'm going to sue you all for defamation. They reposted it, but they'll...
Should Democrats be in jail? No question. When Donald Trump gets elected, should he start locking them up? No question. Should there be lists of Democrats that need to go to jail? 100%. And the reason for that is they've committed crimes. We need to make sure that when Donald Trump wins, we've got an attorney general, a deputy attorney general, a head of the CIA and the FBI. Kash Patel would be fantastic. We can have attorney general. There's some names floating around. And then they can start having their investigators and the feds issuing subpoenas, pulling up evidence, and with real evidence, bring them to judges for warrants. Then these people can spend three years of their lives fighting tooth and nail for the crime against the government for crimes they committed, and we can prove. Yeah. And the reason why we put them on trial is that we can show the whole world we will uncover what you've done. We will make sure everyone knows, and you will be held accountable for it.
Not just jail, they should get the death penalty. We actually used to have the punishment for treason in this country.
Should Democrats...
Laura Loomer coming in with the crazy... So him? So the guy who accepted a bunch of Russian money? The Russian asset that you're currently talking to? She do be looming. Dude, I know, right? So anyways, yeah, she's been cozying up to Trump, and it's been very funny. Let's watch.
Tonight, Trump doubling down on the baseless claim that Haitian immigrants in Ohio are eating people's pets.
There's a place called Springfield, Ohio, that you've been reading about. 911 calls even show residents are reporting that the migrants are walking off with the town's geese. They take in the geese. You know where the geese are? In the park, in the lake.
I like the idea that people are cheering about that because everybody actually hates geese because geese are fucking assholes.
And even walking off with their pets. My dog's been taken. My dog's been stolen.
Trump's comments coming just a day after Ohio's Republican Governor DeWine, came out and said that there is zero evidence to back these claims. One of the first people to push this story before Trump or Vance, though. So, how did it get started? Well, right-wing activist Laura Loomer. She notably flew to Philadelphia with Trump before the debate. She was with him, and she's now taking a lot of heat from Republicans, accusing her of feeding Trump conspiracy theories. Ellie Reeve has this piece you'll see first out front.
The official drink of America first. This is far-right activist Laura Loomer and white nationalist Nick Fuentes cheering to
the hostile takeover of the Republican Party.
Absolutely. And they're not wrong. Both met personally with Donald Trump. I first met Loomer in 2017 at an event for manosphere influencer Mike Cernovich. At the time, Loomer was an activist who'd celebrated the deaths of Muslim migrants. But she was being harassed by white nationalist trolls because she's a Jewish woman. Since then, she's taken a strange trajectory, with
Okay. This is a fucked up angle. Okay. This is mean. Okay. Okay. To do it from this angle, that's not cool. That's not cool. She looks like that one Hassan emote. It's like Haas fat or something. Haas eat. She kind of does look like the sludge, actually. Yeah, Haas fatty. There we go. I'm Brian Kilby.
years somewhat in obscurity because she'd been banned from so many social media sites like Twitter. When Elon Musk took over Twitter, she came back. She does stunts like ambush interviews.
Frank, why aren't you supporting President Trump? I'm a successful investigative journalist.
Loomer recently told CNN she's not anti-Muslim. Now, some might dispute that she's entered the mainstream, but she's reached the former president's elite inner circle. Flying to the presidential...
Elite? Journalism. Words don't mean anything anymore. You just say whatever you want, okay?
debate on Trump's plane, and to New York as he observed the anniversary of 9/11. A notable appearance since Loomer has pushed the false conspiracy theory that 9/11 was an inside job. She's been seen with Trump a lot.
We're here at Bedminster. I'm with the greatest president ever.
After rumors circulated among right-wing Twitter users, including Loomer, that Haitian immigrants are eating people's pets in Ohio, Trump repeated the claim in...
Why is the CNN caster kind of ASMRing me?
...the debate.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in.
I spoke to Loomer before the debate. She told me she's attacked as a childless woman who devotes all her time to a man who will never pay attention to her, meaning Trump. But Trump does pay attention.
This photo was crazy, by the way. This photo was so insane.
Her and reads her reports.
Laura, how are you? You look so beautiful, as always. You don't want to be Loomered. If you're Loomered, you're in deep trouble. Trump!
Good morning, everybody. My name is Laura Loomer.
She ran for Congress twice and lost. But she told me she built a constituency among the very pro-Trump voters in the Villages, a retirement community that's important in Florida Republican politics. She called them Boomers for Loomer, and they were paying attention when she began attacking Governor Ron DeSantis for having the temerity to run for president against Trump.
You are never going to be president of the United States of America.
Loomer told me one of her donors let it slip that DeSantis was running for president in 2021. So on the first stop on the DeSantis book tour, she stood in front with a Trump sign and a t-shirt. Despite her new closeness to the former president, some pro-Trump Republicans are very against her.
Her rhetoric and her tone does not match the base, does not match.
Dude, I assume that Marjorie Taylor Greene must have had the mold cleaned out of her house. Because why is she the voice of reason right now?
MAGA does not match most Republicans I know. And
not that being my phone jingle as well. Not me thinking that was my phone because I'm too late. Listen, okay, it's not my fault. iPhone makes it impossible to fucking change your ringtone. Okay, you have to fucking download 10 billion pieces of spyware to change it, okay? Default ringtone, yeah. Ayo. All Sheldon, thank you for the 2 months. Thanks. Do you? Do it in the settings app? No, like to change it to something custom? You can't change it to something custom. You can only change it to like all these other shit, and then you can go to the store and purchase something. I want to use like I want to use a ringtone that's funny. You can. Liars, guys. Liars. Liar. You guys are total liars. Poor? No. Do you think that the Tone Store has Neil Cicerga's fireflies? Closer flies? Do you think it has that? It doesn't have it. Okay? This is not a matter of being poor. I am willing to pay. Tone Store, what is it? I don't know, man. It's just like you go to change your ringtone and this is the only options that come up. Tone Store, download, purchase tones, and then it's a bunch of fucking what? This is an Apple problem. This is an Apple problem, guys, for sure. I'm telling you guys, I tried to do this and then I gave up. We used to be a proper country.
And I'm completely denouncing it. I'm over it.
I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ellie, saying that is something, right? I mean, as loyal and big of a MAGA as it gets. Lindsey Graham today called her comments disturbing. Does she carry influence with others in the Republican Party? And, what do they think about her right now, seemingly incredible closeness to Trump?
Well, she told me that when she met J.D. Vance, he hugged her, even though she was, in her words, a childless dog lady. Now, she also thinks that she's been held on the periphery of the MAGA media world, doesn't get those prime speaking slots in conservative conferences. But her work is reaching like regular people. Last year during the presidential primary, I talked to this man in his 70s who proclaimed Laura Loomer has destroyed the DeSantis campaign, like almost with a touch of pride.
Wow, it is really incredible to watch all of this, and obviously, they're wanting to have conversations with you. Ellie, thank you so much.
Thanks.
There is a growing feud that is playing out in public today, and it's really exposing tensions between Donald Trump's allies. Far-right activist Laura Loomer was seen with Trump yesterday at events commemorating 9/11, despite the fact that she previously spread conspiracy theories about those very terrorist attacks.
Yeah, she posted on social media saying that it was an inside job.
On how to do it. I'm not doing disc golf, but the long and short is that you need iTunes. Check your Discord DMS. I told you how before.
Real? I believe you for now.
She was also seen getting off his plane. You see the video here. This is in Philadelphia, just ahead of the debate. Some of Loomer's comments, though, have proven to be too extreme for some in MAGA world. CNN's Manu Raju's following this story. Manu, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene is not holding back going after Loomer, and now other Republicans are joining her. What are they saying?
Yeah, that's right. In fact, Marjorie Taylor Greene, someone herself who has been very outspoken, very controversial in some of her rhetoric, but she says what Laura Loomer has been saying has been going too far, and she contends it does not represent the MAGA movement.
Okay, I'm out of pocket. I don't know anything about this guy, but why does he look like he's from Hunger Games? The hair is crazy.
It does not represent former President Donald Trump. This is in the aftermath of her racist post about Kamala Harris's Indian heritage. That was too much for Marjorie Taylor Greene, and then afterwards, Loomer went to attack her on social media. So I asked her about this feud between those two, and this is what MTG said to me just moments ago.
Concerns about her rhetoric and her hateful tone. To me, many of the comments that she makes and how she attacks Republicans like me, many other Republicans that are strong supporters of President Trump, I think they're a huge problem. And that doesn't represent MAGA as a whole.
She's still traveled with the former president. Would you encourage Trump not to keep close contact with her?
Laura Loomer has lost two Republican congressional campaigns, one in a general and one in a primary. And this is such an important election. I don't think that she has the experience or the right mentality to advise a very important presidential election. But I do know this, that her rhetoric and her tone does not match the base, does not match MAGA, does not match most Republicans I know. And I'm completely denouncing it. I'm over it. And I would encourage anyone else that matches her statements to stop.
But Trump himself was indeed traveling with Laura Loomer in the way to Tuesday's debate. And he's someone that she has been within his inner circle, and someone has causing clearly concerns, not just among Marjorie Taylor Greene, but also other people who are aligned with Donald Trump, worried about his alliance with someone who espouses such extreme rhetoric, racist rhetoric, pushes conspiracy theories and the like. This is what Senator Lindsey Graham just moments ago told our colleague Ted Barrett here on Capitol Hill. He said, I think what she said about Kamala Harris and the White House is abhorrent, but he said it's deeper than that. He said she says some things about Republicans too. And he went on to say about Trump, he would serve himself well to make sure that she doesn't become a bigger story. So a clear concerns among some of Trump's closest allies that he's getting too close to her and that he needs to show some distance. Guys.
Interesting, Manu. And that Marjorie Taylor Greene is drawing a line at what acceptable rhetoric is, and it appears to be Jewish space lasers, but not this. Manu Raji live for us on the Hill. Thank you so much. Joining us now is Jessalyn Cook. She's the author of The Quiet Damage, QAnon and the Destruction of the American Family. Jessalyn, Laura Loomer, as we just mentioned, seen getting off of Trump's plane. She had this tweet out, a source telling CNN she has the former president's number. She has used it. What is the effect of Trump spending time with and elevating someone like this?
It's a really puzzling strategy. Obviously, when Marjorie Taylor Greene is the voice of reason, that's cause for alarm. A lot of Republicans are stunned by this. And what she's doing, what Laura Loomer is doing with Trump's help, is just normalizing and spreading these really detrimental conspiracy theories. Even the conspiracy theory we heard on the debate stage on Tuesday night from Donald Trump, that Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio are abducting and eating people's pets. Reporting suggests that he is picking up this kind of rhetoric from Laura Loomer, who was posting these conspiracy theories before he took the stage.
And I'm wondering, since you brought up what he said on the debate stage about Haitian immigrants in Ohio eating pets, how do conspiracy theories like that, of that ilk, originate, and which ones are seemingly amplified more than others on social media and interviews and obviously on the debate stage?
A lot of the time it starts out with fringe figures online, increasingly more popular mainstream far-right influencers like Laura Loomer, repeating these wild falsehoods that kind of trickle their way up through the system, coming eventually out of the potential future president of the United States' mouth. And there's real offline harm to these online conspiracy theories. Just today, we saw there's a bomb threat in Springfield, Ohio. Reportedly, the caller was frustrated over Haitian immigration, and it led to schools closing, it led to city buildings closing. And even after that happened, Laura Loomer then went back on X and suggested that Haitian immigrants are not only eating pets, but eating people, just pushing wildly baseless, false, harmful claims.
And so, Jessalyn, I wonder if is there a way, and you've written about this, you've looked at people who have been taken in by conspiracy theories. Is there a way to inoculate them against this kind of disinformation? And is there a way to bring them out of it once they've fallen for it?
There is, and I would note that Laura Loomer is not someone who I think has been brainwashed. I think she's generally someone doing the brainwashing. She is a malicious actor in this sphere. But a lot of people just searching for truth online, they see stuff like this, they see it legitimized by Donald Trump, and they believe it to be true. And you see these individuals ushered into online echo chambers algorithmically. And so to help someone who's gone deep into the conspiracy theory world get out, you need to understand how they got in. And so often it's about trying to engage them in offline activities, trying to get them hobbies that pull them away from their computer and separate them from this very distorted version of reality that we're all traveling different versions of online.
That's really interesting. Jessalyn, always great to have you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Tonight, some of Donald Trump's most ardent allies are raising serious concerns about a far-right provocateur and promoter of conspiracy theories who's made her way into the former president's inner circle right now. Her name is Laura Loomer, and she's been seen traveling with Trump twice in the past few days alone. Her views are considered extreme, even by Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's calling Loomer's rhetoric a huge problem and arguing that she doesn't represent the MAGA movement. Our political experts are back with us right now, along with CNN's chief media analyst Brian Stelter, who's back here at CNN. Welcome back, Brian.
Thank you,
CNN. Good to have you back. I want to start with you. We've seen Loomer in Trump's inner circle in recent days. Who is she, and what are some of the conspiracy theories she has been promoting out there that Trump has now publicly elevated by bringing her into his inner circle?
That's right. She's a self-promoting far-right performer who has a long history of racist and Islamophobic commentary. She's also a failed congressional candidate in Florida. She's the type of person who 10 years ago would not have been the subject of national news. She'd be shouting into the void on some obscure social network. But nowadays, partly because of the Trump movement and because Trump has brought her on into the inner circle, she is a newsworthy figure and someone deserving of this kind of scrutiny. For example, here's a recent post from Loomer promoting that racist lie about Haitians in Ohio, referring to cannibalistic Haitians stealing and eating people's pets. We know that's been debunked, but it didn't stop Loomer from pushing the lie. Here's another, and that is the kind of thing that we've seen travel, perhaps, from the likes of Loomer to Trump. Now, here's another example that was very disturbing. In 2023, Loomer calling 9/11 an inside job, promoting a long conspiracy theory, and then there she was earlier this week at the 9/11 commemoration at the ceremony in New York. This raised a lot of eyebrows given Loomer's history promoting conspiracy theories. Those are a couple of the examples, Wolf, of Loomer potentially influencing the former president.
And Brian, let me follow up. We're now seeing some Republican lawmakers like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Senator Lindsey Graham, for that matter, distance themselves publicly from Laura Loomer after she tweeted about Kamala Harris's Indian American heritage and cooking. What about that?
That's right, and I'm sorry to read this one out loud. It's pretty gross, but here's what she posted about Kamala Harris, saying, if Harris wins, the White House will smell like curry and White House speeches will be facilitated via a call center, and it goes on and on. Clearly,
the rest of the tweet reads, and the American people will only be able to convey their feedback through a customer satisfaction survey at the end of the call that nobody will understand. Ah, excellent, excellent, excellent. I don't know if that's really cannibalistic. Do the people there have humans as pets? I mean, there are people that put other human beings in, like, collars. Does that count?
touching on racial prejudice there, it is notable that the likes of Marjorie Taylor Greene have tried to distance the GOP from Loomer. Here's what Greene said.
I have concerns about her rhetoric and her hateful tone. To me, many of the comments that she makes and how she attacks Republicans like me, many other Republicans that are strong supporters of President Trump, I think they're a huge problem. And that doesn't represent MAGA as a whole.
For years, we have been covering Marjorie Taylor Greene's conspiracy theories and her history of offensive and controversial statements. And yet she seems to know that it is smart politically to try to distance from the likes of Laura Loomer. Like I said, Wolf, Loomer is a failed congressional candidate. She's a troll who lives on the internet trying to get attention. She once actually handcuffed herself to the offices of Twitter, protesting the fact that Twitter banned her. That's the kind of internet persona she is. But because Trump has brought her in, she is a newsworthy subject.
And that raises the question, Alyssa, why is Donald Trump associating himself with someone like Laura Loomer, who has a long history of making bigoted comments?
So Laura Loomer is somebody who was a bit of a presence in the 2016 campaign. She tried to get access around Donald Trump. She did she tried to during his first term. But I think this underscores how different a second Trump term would be than a first. Adults in the room, the Mike Pences on the campaign and when in the White House, would not have let this person around the president. They would speak out on the fact that this is not somebody who should be advising him, that she's dangerous, she's polarizing, she espouses blatantly racist beliefs. And it just seems like those guardrails have come off. There was a picture of Susie Wiles standing next to her, and Susie Wiles is a serious, thoughtful operative, and I cannot imagine for a minute she thinks that this is a person who should be in Donald Trump's ear. And by the way, during the debate when he, infamously said they're eating cats and dogs, once I learned that Laura Loomer had traveled with him, it made sense because oftentimes the last person in Donald Trump's ear is the person that he ends up espousing what they want him.
I like that Donald Trump is like a 15-year-old trying to find a political party they align with. Just like the last thing they heard that seemed based is what they believe.
To say it made sense there. There is a major risk to this person being anywhere near a potential future president of the United States.
Megan, the White House today called Trump's associating with Laura Loomer repugnant. That was the word. What does it say to you that Kamala Harris hasn't yet waded into this?
Look, I don't think she needs to weigh into this, right? Like who he wants to surround himself with is his business. It just shows the American people who he is and what his character is. Those aren't the people that she surrounds herself with. Also, it's telling that actual conservative Republicans that worked with him in the White House before don't support him. His own vice president doesn't support him. He doesn't have the support of the traditional Republican Party. So he is going to these extreme people because those are the people who are telling him what he wants to hear. The vice president doesn't need to get involved in this because that's just not who her character is, and she doesn't listen to people. It's just showing more about that Donald Trump is listening to these racist people, and he's also being racist with these horrible statements that are coming out on the debate and on Twitter and Truth Social. So it's just telling of who he is, and I just think it's repugnant that we're even giving her time discussing her relevance.
It's interesting, Brian, that this is, as you and I well know, this is certainly not the first time Trump has been criticized for associating with rather hateful figures like Laura Loomer. Do you think enough attention is getting paid to all of this right now?
I would tell you on 9/11 when this happened, no, but today I think there is now thankfully more scrutiny, and partly that is because she's been traveling with the former president this week. It strikes me as another example of the feedback loop that Trump is in, where he gets misinformed by people around him. Sometimes the TV shows he watches, sometimes the online personalities that he hangs out with. He ends up getting bad information, in some cases totally bogus information, like about the case in Ohio. Then he repeats it, then it becomes even more of a story. Then it becomes a multi-day news cycle that ultimately may hurt his campaign, all because of the people that he chooses to either listen to on television or, in this case, hang out with on his airplane.
And some weirdos that he actually invites to have dinner with him at Mar-a-Lago. Guys, thank you very, very much for that analysis.
Early voting is kicking off. The race is super tight, as you know. Some of Trump's confidants are starting to scare GOP veterans based on our reporting just coming in. I have to ask you, should right-wing firebrands like Laura Loomer, who once said 9/11 was an inside job, be in Trump's ear?
Yeah, President Trump is real good about surrounding himself around people that gives him a positive advice and information that is useful to him winning the election.
What? Who the fuck is this schmuck? I thought he was about to spit, and then he just didn't spit. I thought he was going to say Donald Trump is like famous for keeping people around him who are yes men who tell him what he wants to hear. But then he said he's famous for keeping people around him who help him try to win. That's not what he's famous for.
President Trump is real good about surrounding himself around people that gives him a positive advice and information that is useful to him winning the election.
No, not even close.
To say who should be around his ear or who shouldn't, this is a guy that's been very successful in business. He's built a wonderful brand, a very successful business along the way. He's not been in politics, but he knows how to put the right people in place to get the job done. And I'm convinced about that.
But he talked about all the people he had to fire in his administration. So how is he putting in the right people?
But everybody's had to fire people. Everybody's had to fire people. I've hired thousands of people, and I've fired hundreds of people, because you have to hire right and you got to fire right. You don't know exactly how the person is until they get past their 6-week honeymoon, and then you start figuring out the real individual. Any business owner out there will tell you it's just important to hire the right people. It is also to fire the right people, because they can be horrible for the work environment. You've worked with people that need to be fired.
Right,
and probably
but the idea is the argument. He puts the right people in place, but he has fired a number of them when he
Pam,
talked about that.
You got to keep in mind that how many horrible decisions has this administration made and hasn't held anybody accountable. When a bad decision is made, somebody has to be held accountable, because if you can't admit you did something wrong, you can never change. And these individuals, as part of this administration, has made a disastrous decision after disastrous decision, all going back all the way from the Afghanistan withdrawal to where we are today in Ukraine. And not one single person has been held accountable. Not one person. What President Trump did, he was real good about holding people accountable in his administration. That's part of life.
And we are back with our panel to discuss this. Jonah, I want to bring you in to get your reaction. Today, CNN, is reporting that some Republicans, they were concerned about Laura Loomer's influence on Trump. And then you heard that from the senator, basically defending Trump and saying he surrounds himself with the best people. What do you think?
Look, Laura Loomer is a crackpot. Laura Loomer, take Laura Loomer to a 9/11 commemoration event when Laura Loomer, not very long ago, talked about how 9/11 was an inside job. It's a bad idea. To the extent that people are honest about whether or not, about how badly Trump lost the debate, most people will tell you it's because he listens to people like Laura Loomer who do not give him, who live inside this very MAGA bubble, who always tell him he's awesome and great. I'm sure one of the reasons
Finally, someone who's like awake. Jesus.
why Trump
White people, Dini, thank you so much for the gift sub.
sincerely thinks he did a fantastic job is because when he got out, Laura Loomer told him, "You did a fantastic job," and that's what look. He's surrounded himself with some very smart people. He also surrounds himself with just unbelievable sycophants. Laura Loomer is in the sycophant category.
What do you think, Mark?
Well, first, Laura Loomer does not work for the campaign. She doesn't
But he
speak for
wanted
the
her as a campaign advisor, according to our reporting. She never.
And she's not. And I would say though that she does have a voice in a certain segment of the party. And I would say that he
Whose
listens.
votes he's already got.
But it's also, but I would say the same reason why and I would equate it to the Democrats having to listen to the squad. You have to know where they are. You have to know where their objections are. You have to know what they're doing. He's listening to his far right as you have to listen to their extreme, crazy far left. And so
the extreme, crazy far left. Everyone should have health care. People should have housing and food and water. Whoa, crazy. Whoa, calm down.
I equate it that way.
I don't know Laura Loomer. I wouldn't know her if she came up to me on the street. I do know that Trump had 42 members of his cabinet, 42. 18 of them are opposing, or are refusing to support him, maybe accurate. 18 of the 42 members of his cabinet, his own vice president, Mike Pence, is not supporting him. Of all of the living nominees of the Republican Party for president and vice president, one supports Donald Trump. Governor Palin, former Governor Palin of Alaska. Everyone else. So that's why he's turning to people with apparently eccentric views on the internet about 9/11, because the legitimate Republicans are running away from him like the devil runs from holy water.
It strikes me on Laura Loomer, that you have Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene even coming out and saying she's too extreme.
Wow, that's a shocker, because she, of course, believes in Jewish space lasers. Laura Loomer is a truther when it comes to 9/11, believes in conspiracy theories, but Donald Trump himself, without Laura Loomer, believes in all sorts of conspiracy theories too. So, you are who you surround yourself with, and I think that is the case here. I mean, she has tweeted awful things, awful racist things. This is what she said about Kamala Harris. The White House will smell like curry, and White House speeches will be facilitated via a call center if Kamala Harris gets into the White House. That, of course, is a reference to her Indian heritage. It's a stereotype. It's racist. It's terrible. And this is somebody who is in Donald Trump's ear, both as a sycophant, but also somebody who is telling him things like there are dogs in, dog eating in Ohio, and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Excellent area to just stop. Yeah, great, excellent. Oh, God. I don't know. I think it's pretty simple. Laura Loomer is a yes man for Donald Trump, and she will happily and gladly say whatever she needs to say to stay in his good graces, because she has been ousted from all other directions, and from all other parties. She just doesn't have anywhere else to go, so she has to cling to Donald Trump, right? She's just gone full right-wing online. Why wouldn't she just go full Trump? She's banned from Uber Eats and Postmates. How do you even get banned? There's some other things that she said. Uh-oh.
Like the way they talk and their little DEI Shaniqua voices, and it's just very piercing, very irritating sound. They all have the same voice. I'm talking about Kamala Harris, Letitia James, and Fannie Willis. Like all of the meritless.
All black women sound the same. Alrighty.
DEI Shaniquas talk the same way. It's very obnoxious the way that they talk.
Okay. Botox queen, the upper half of her face doesn't move. Dude, people like Laura Loomer are the reason that people are so scared of all types of plastic surgery and augmentations. I know people who have gotten Botox, and you can't tell that they've gotten Botox because they've gotten good Botox, because they haven't gotten a fuck ton everywhere. But people like Laura Loomer scare me. They scare me so much The idea of walking into the wrong office is so terrifying. I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe next month. I don't know. That ain't just Botox. I mean, it's also filler. But I'm so like... I'm so Suska of filler. Stay natural, it's best. Well, just because you said that, I'm getting 500 milligrams or cc's or whatever of filler. I want to be ugly. I want everyone to look at me and to see this, okay? You don't think actual surgery? And no, the thing that's causing her face to not move isn't surgery. Surgery doesn't necessarily do that. This is like Botox. It's what it literally does is it freezes your muscles, so you're not like moving your face. And if you're not moving your face, you can't be creating wrinkles, which is why people get it done. I recommend using Red 40 instead of Botox. Oh gosh, dude. Oh god. Oh. Yeah. I feel ooh, zoinks. Also, if I recall correctly, Botox is actually a solid treatment for TMJ. Oh yeah, I mean, I also know someone who gets Botox because they have chronic pain because of like basically their jaw is like deteriorating, like a medical condition. And it's severe, serious jaw pain almost all the time. And they get Botox because Botox helps fix that. And they're like, oh my God, whoa, it doesn't hurt anymore. Oh my God, I'm not in serious pain anymore. Thank fucking God. Which that seems based to me. Fuck. That's,